The ghost of Iran-Contra past lives on for President George Bush, a Christmas Eve pardon for 6 key players of the Reagan administration. In Little Rock, our next president rounds out the most diverse cabinet in American history, including the first ever woman attorney general. And Eye on America, tonight, what do we believe? An update on faith, hope, and miracles. This is the CBS Evening News. Good evening, I'm Giselle Fernandez, sitting in tonight for Dan Rather. With less than a month to go in office, President Bush today used his presidential power to pardon 6 key figures in the Iran-Contra scandal. It was the most dramatic use of that power since Gerald Ford pardoned Richard Nixon in 1974. Eric Engberg has our report.
A set of Christmas Eve Iran-Contra pardons that will derail 2 criminal trials was ordered by President Bush after he left Washington for his Camp David retreat. The top White House priority was clearly the pardon given to Caspar Weinberger, defense secretary under Reagan, who had been due to go on trial in 11 days on charges he withheld information from Congress about arms sales to Iran. Another pardon to ex-CIA spy master Dwayne Claridge will cancel his trial for perjury. Robert McFarlane and Elliott Abrams, 2 senior foreign policy officials convicted of wrongdoing, also received pardons, as did CIA officials Alan Fires and Claire George. The outgoing president called Weinberger a true American patriot and said the common denominator for the other 5, whether their actions were right or wrong, was patriotism. While many Democrats cried foul, President-elect Clinton steered away from directly criticizing the pardons. But the special prosecutor, a Republican, openly suggested the Weinberger pardon was a way for Mr. Bush to cover up the truth.
It demonstrates that powerful people with powerful allies can commit serious crimes in high office, deliberately abusing the public trust without consequences.
The record of the independent counsel, Mr. Walsh, in this whole matter has been dismal. This prosecution of me and those of many others has been a mockery of law enforcement and of justice.
White House officials said Mr. Bush had nothing to fear from evidence that would come out at the trial. But Walsh claimed Weinberger's notes were so explosive, had they been uncovered, they might have led to Reagan's impeachment.
Weinberger's concealment of notes is a part of a disturbing pattern of deception and obstruction that permeated the highest levels of the Reagan and Bush administrations.
The prosecutor revealed that Mr. Bush has refused to provide what he called highly relevant notes sought as evidence.
It also becomes more difficult to learn George Bush's role, because those closest to him now can no longer be questioned under oath in a trial to try to get to the bottom of it.
If the president wanted to give him a pardon because he was a friend or because of his age, then he should have done it that way. To do it on these grounds is, in my view, obscene.
Walsh, effectively blocked from further prosecutions, will now make a report to Congress on what he is referring to as 6 years of cover-up capped by today's pardons. Giselle.
Eric Engberg in Washington, thank you. For Mr. Bush's successor, this was the day to complete his cabinet selections, and Bill Clinton did as planned, naming the last of his choices. They include the nation's first woman attorney general. Correspondent Mark Phillips is on the Clinton Watch.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thoughts of the season were definitely in the air today as the president-elect met his own deadline, announcing his full cabinet before Christmas. Whether it turns out to be naughty or nice, the Clinton cabinet list has been checked at least twice, and if it doesn't look exactly like America as promised, it looks more like it than any previous administration. Today's appointees: Zoe Baird, who, if confirmed, will be the first woman attorney general; Congressman Mike Espy of Mississippi to head up agriculture; former Denver Mayor Federico Pena to transportation; and former Arizona Governor and environmentalist Bruce Babbitt to interior.
They come from diverse backgrounds, and we will all be better and stronger for that diversity.
If racial, ethnic, and gender diversity are now the measure of what America looks like, this cabinet has 4 blacks, 4 women, 2 Hispanics, and a much smaller than usual contingent of white males. A more balanced cabinet, some say. But presidential scholars like Stephen Hess say balance is a relative concept.
Cabinets are always talked about in terms of balance. And balance of what? In which case you're balancing geography in some cases. You used to balance religion. Now the balances are somewhat different, but the principle that it has to be a balance remains.
It is at the Justice Department where this new balance will be most tested to produce new policies. Under Presidents Bush and Reagan, the department had come to champion conservative causes. Today, there was the suggestion of something different.
That this department will be firm in its prosecution of crime, will be guided by the rule of law, and will be committed to the principled and deliberate advancement of civil rights, environmental protection, and economic fairness.
To the liberal legal establishment, this was the stuff dreams are made of.
I think that this is an appointment which symbolizes really what Bill Clinton wants to do in this administration, which is bring new ideas and bring a sense of pragmatism and idealism to the Department of Justice.
That idealism was also evident in a non-cabinet appointment. Arkansas Health Department head Joycelyn Elders, a universal health care and family planning advocate, was named Surgeon General. Aside from being notable for its well-publicized diversity, the Clinton cabinet is now known for a conservative approach to finance and foreign affairs and an activist approach to social issues. It is very much, it seems, a reflection of the man who will head it. Mark Phillips, CBS News, Washington.
The first American to die in the Somalia rescue operation was identified today as 51-year-old Lawrence Friedman of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Friedman was a civilian who worked for the U.S. Army, part of an advance team near the city of Bardera. Today, hundreds of U.S. Marines spent a hot and dirty Christmas Eve on the road to Bardera. Bob Simon is with them.
Looking at the camps of Bardera this morning, you couldn't have known that today was destined to be different from other desperate days. The diseased and the dying kept coming in from the countryside. Food came in from Mogadishu, but there wasn't much of it. Stocks were running out. Bob Allen, the head of care in Bardera, made his rounds.
Are you getting better? Hey, are you getting better?
His biggest problem, the mines around Bardera. Mines which prevent food from getting to 180 starving villages. Mines which keep farmers locked in these camps while their crops go untended a few miles away. It was high noon when the mine clearers loomed on the dusty road like an apparition. The first combat engineers of the Marine Corps, the spearhead of the biggest American push into the heartland. They'd come from Baidoa, 120 long and wretched miles.
Remount the vehicle, stand by to turn around. We're heading back, over.
But in Somalia, one step forward can mean 20 miles back. The first combat engineers only stayed in Bardera a few minutes. They're retracing their steps now on the road which the main force will be coming in on later this afternoon. This is the stretch of road which the Somalis tell them is very heavily mined. It's the road where an American was killed, where 3 others were injured by a mine yesterday. Somalis won't go near it.
What the object is to try and see it with the 2 people scanning in the front before the vehicle goes over it. It's worked so far. We haven't hit anything so far.
A few hours later, there's another specter on the road. The main force, 750 troops arriving to relieve Bardera, the way Marines have relieved so many besieged cities in other, simpler wars. They secured the airport and started digging in.
I often wonder where the road to hell went. I think we found it today, about 140 miles of the dustiest road I've ever seen in my life.
When Bob Allen finished his rounds and walked home to his compound, he found he had new neighbors.
We'd like to see them stay here until such time as the economy picks up, the harvest is in, and the people have sorted out their differences.
This is the day for extravagant wishes, but Bob Allen can count on one thing. Christmas morning, the Marines will get up and start clearing those mines. This evening, though, trees were decorated amidst the hard scrub, and portable tape decks reminded men of what they were doing in this desolate land.
It's my Christmas present to Africa. If there's any Christmas present that I ever gave, it's probably the West one.
A few good men met hordes of hungry children today, and when the day was done, both felt better for it. Bob Simon, CBS News, Bardera.
Sarajevo in the former Yugoslavia has been under siege by Serbian forces for 9 months. But Christmas is coming anyway to the Bosnian capital. Santa Claus paid a Christmas Eve visit to an orphanage, handing out gifts to children who've lost parents to the war. At the Vatican, Pope John Paul ushered in Christmas with the traditional midnight mass in St. Peter's Basilica. The services included a prayer in Croatian for peace in what used to be Yugoslavia, and there was a prayer in the language of Somalia for all the world's suffering children. Still to come on the CBS Evening News, Christmas Eve with an eerie twist for followers of an alleged doomsday preacher. And later, Eye on America. Tonight we'll hear the prayers of our countrymen and women.
It's night and day the difference Correctol makes when I'm irregular. Correctol is the woman's gentle laxative that works predictably overnight. No wonder more women trust it. Correctol, gently, predictably, overnight.
What's red hot, really powerful, and can perk up anything? Guess again. It's the Dirt Devil Upright Deluxe. Its revolving brush cleans the dirtiest floor, and you won't have to hunt for attachments. They're built in. So get the Dirt Devil Upright Deluxe and perk up your place.
Yeah, I looked at the BMW and the Lexus. And? I drove this. The power, the handling, the control. It was incredible. Really. It's got leather, ABS, dual airbags. It's even supercharged. I could have spent a lot more on the BMW or the Lexus. But why? What is this? The new Pontiac SSEI.
We are driving.
Very nice.
Excitement, Pontiac.
Convicted murderer Jean Harris was rushed from prison to a hospital today with what her lawyer described as a suspected heart attack. The 69-year-old Harris did have a heart attack 8 years ago. She has been in prison since 1981, serving 15 years to life for killing diet doctor Herman Tarnauer. In an Arizona community on this Christmas Eve, the seasonal goodwill is tempered by an ominous threat. The threat of a repeat of the infamous Jonestown massacre. Cindy Kennard has the story.
A feeling of Christmas, but also a feeling of dread in this remote Arizona town of Camp Verde.
Without a doubt, this man was planning on mass suicide.
The night before Christmas talk here is all about the pastor of a cult-like church and whether he will poison his nearly 200 parishioners on Christmas Day.
Yeah, if they're dumb enough to do it, let them go ahead and do it.
Some here seriously worry that Camp Verde, Arizona could become another Jonestown, Guyana. 14 years ago, Reverend Jim Jones, leader of the People's Temple, feeling persecuted in the United States, ordered 900 followers to join him in drinking cyanide-laced Kool-Aid.
You hypocrites! Come to this word or perish.
In Arizona, the leader of the Spoken Word Tabernacle has admitted to adultery and is facing charges of child molestation. Recently, he's been hinting the end will come on Christmas. His name, Reverend Jim Jones.
Why was he planning on a mass suicide?
Because of his, he's going to jail and he knows it.
Former followers say this Jones, no relation to the People's Temple minister, is going down, and he's willing to take his congregation with him.
I think there's a good percentage of the people there that would follow him right to the bitter end.
My aim in this is to prevent people from being slaughtered like animals, to prevent Jim Jones of Guyana to happen again.
Defenders of the preacher of the Spoken Word Tabernacle say dire predictions of a Christmas Day tragedy here are ridiculous, and there is no similarity between this Jim Jones and the one who led his flock to death in Jonestown.
The people of Reverend Jones's church know him, and I think they trust him and don't worry about it. And the people have made this story up. They know that there's nothing to worry about.
Jones would not speak to CBS News on camera, but he told us he is not planning to serve beverages at tomorrow's service. Still, former members of his flock wonder if their friends will survive Christmas Day. Cindy Kennard, CBS News, Camp Verde, Arizona.
Stay with us now for more CBS News, including a report on Bill Clinton's diet. If it's true that you are what you eat, what does that say about the president-elect?
Want to go? No, take the rest of the Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
Everyone's asleep.
Shh, I know how to wake them up. Come on.
You're home.
I missed you, Mom. Happy holidays from Folgers.
Some people get nasal congestion, but if you get sinus congestion, use a sinus spray like Sinex. Only Sinex has a decongestant plus Vicks Vapors, so you can feel your swollen passages open up. For sinus, think Sinex.
Fixodent Fresh. The spring water fresh feeling is reason enough to try it. And it's the strongest holding adhesive, so you'll never settle for anything less. Crisp freshness. Strongest hold. 2 great reasons to Fixodent and forget it.
It's time for Lobsterfest, our annual classic event, but only now at Red Lobster. The sea's ultimate classic, Maine lobster, rock lobster, grilled lobster, and more. All freshly prepared in specially priced combinations only during Lobsterfest. Now at Red Lobster. And for the holidays, try party platters to go, ready in 1 hour.
What happens when the welfare of a child is jeopardized by a parent's religious beliefs? The First Amendment says the child loses. Sunday on 60 Minutes.
The White House said today that if there's a nuclear arms reduction agreement by New Year's Eve, President Bush will meet with Boris Yeltsin in Russia early next month. Mr. Bush would stop over on his way home from Somalia. Every president and president-elect has a weakness, something to poke fun at. With Bill Clinton, it's a diet that goes heavy on fattening foods. Now, as John Blackstone reports, there's a move afoot to change Mr. Clinton's eating habits.
As Bill Clinton heads toward the presidency, most Americans have been paying attention to what he says. But a few are just as concerned about what he eats. And eats. And eats.
Want to go? No, I'll take the rest of the cannoli with me.
Seeing all that junk food go down, some critics have called it gustatory mayhem. Others have asked if Clinton is power hungry or just hungry. They want to see a new kind of cooking at the White House.
That's not what it's about.
It's not about baby vegetables.
It's not about baby vegetables. It's about variety, and it's about seasonality, and it's about ripeness.
Alice Waters is not from some vegetarian fringe group. She is widely recognized as America's most influential chef. In her restaurant in Berkeley, she has set the standard for a new American cuisine of fresh, direct from the farm ingredients.
It's a revelation, I think, to eat food that's just been picked right out of the ground and onto the plate.
Now, with dozens of other top American chefs, she is leading a campaign to change Bill Clinton's diet. She really believes you are what you eat.
Well, I think he can set the example in the White House.
There is nothing more undignified than a politician eating.
So far, the culinary example set by the president-elect is not inspiring Alice Waters. But it is providing comedians something to get their teeth into.
Sir, I think we should probably continue to jog. We've only gone about 1/8 of a mile.
All right. You guys up for a real run?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Racing to the Pizza Hut!
And here's a document that could haunt the president-elect. A cookbook written by the chef of the Arkansas governor's mansion featuring Bill Clinton's favorite recipes. This one could be the smoking gun. Jell-O pineapple 7-Up salad. Liza Ashley, who cooked for the governor, thinks the dinner table may be the one place Bill Clinton isn't campaigning for change.
But he'd eat a few greens, maybe some peas or something like that, but young people don't like all that kind of eating.
What's this?
This is radicchio. And this I haven't even seen before.
So you're trying to get the president, you're trying to get Bill Clinton to go from the sublime to the radicchio. Bill Clinton's junk food habit may be all-American, but the pressure's on for him to stand up and declare that even when it comes to food, his appetite for change is undiminished. John Blackstone, CBS News, Berkeley.
I have to admit, I'm a little surprised.
About what?
I just never thought I'd see you in anything but a BMW or a Lexus.
Me neither.
Airbag? Leather? This is quality. Expensive?
About 10,000, 15,000 less than the BMW or Lexus. I think it feels just as good.
What? Oh, there's Pontiac Bonneville. It's amazing.
Just weeks from now, a messenger will be delivering a package to me like this, with the name of American Family's newest $10 million winner. You may be the one. Next month's $10 million winner in America's only sweepstakes with my picture. You, a millionaire 10 times over, real fast. I'll announce the $10 million winner next month. Return the winning number in time, and the $10 million grand prize will be yours this winter.
What do you smell?
I can't smell anything. My nose is clogged, yeah.
For fast relief, try Dristan 12-hour nasal spray. Now smell.
It's an orange. Dristan nasal spray just works incredibly fast.
Dristan, the face of relief today.
When you're baking for the holidays, use all-natural Pam cooking spray. It lets all the fresh-baked taste come through. And that's sure to bring the house down. With Pam, nothing comes between you and the taste of your food.
Happy holidays from CBS This Morning.
For many Americans, Christmas is a time to reflect on religious questions and the life of the Spirit. This year, those reflections come in the midst of unsettling world events and big changes in our own country. For tonight's Eye on America, we looked for the spirit of America in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Bob McNamara reports.
Even in America's Bethlehem, cold reality crashes the Christmas party.
In the old days, life was simple. I believe we're living in hell now. I really believe it.
If enough bad things happen to you, you find it hard to believe.
There's too much trouble around to be content.
Religion is peace.
It gives me a great sense of joy.
Almighty God, to whom
The search for spiritual comfort has never been so complicated
by my fault
or so personal.
by my own most grievous fault.
A lot of people just latch on to a religion not really knowing, but just blindly following.
People just disregard the church. They disregard the church's teaching.
Your mother, you don't always agree with what she says, but you're going to love her anyway, and that's like the church.
I believe in God, and when I'm in trouble especially, I start to think about Him.
For many Americans, this is the season for soul searching. Christian or not, religious or not, it is a time when we once again ask ourselves the oldest questions.
I do have questions, but I'm not leaving my church because of it.
Georgianne Regan begins every day at Catholic Mass.
Lord, show us your mercy and love.
The Lord comes in me, and He carries me through the days.
Do this in memory of me.
The Lord, if you want to say He's my crutch, He's my crutch. And it's just like He becomes your lover, and I can hardly wait to get to Him every morning.
I don't want to say I'm here because I felt guilty.
Maybe it's because of guilt.
I don't know, I feel better knowing that we're here.
Yeah.
Jessica Errett and Glenn Lair are back in the Lutheran Church after years away.
It wasn't a major priority when I was younger, in my teens and growing up.
I don't know, I really paid more attention this time. It wasn't something I had to do, I was doing it because I wanted to.
Their marriage next month is part of the reason they returned.
I always believed in what I was taught originally, that this was, the right thing for me.
People told them that this is what it's about. This is who God is. This is who Jesus is. Christ has died, and Christ has risen, and Christ will come again. That is the answer.
You can't answer those questions with simplistic, old-fashioned religion kind of answers.
Willard Martin left his church and bought one of his own.
I think it's sort of sad that they let it go.
This old Russian Orthodox church is now home to his family and his harpsichord business.
This place has a sacred ground meaning. The people had a very simple, deeply felt experience of life and religion, and it's something that we've lost. We have the potential to ask the thorny questions ourselves and answer them ourselves. Well, that's more difficult than going to someone and asking what to think, but today it's very difficult to know whom to go to ask the question of what to think.
Today, Americans are changing churches and leaving churches, sometimes turning back, but more than ever, turning within. Even in America's Bethlehem, this is no longer an age of absolutes. The steel plant doesn't mean security. The streets aren't always safe. And the belief we're born to may not last a lifetime. In Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Bob McNamara for Eye on America.
That's the CBS Evening News. I'm Giselle Fernandez, sitting in for Dan Rather. Good night, everyone, and have a Merry Christmas.
And the winner is Ford Probe GT.
We recently accepted the Motor Trend Car of the Year award, but the real trophy is yours to take home. Ford Probe GT, a lean carved shape, a button-down cockpit, pure 24-valve performance, and now the Motor Trend Car of the Year.
When your sinus and nasal congestion feels this bad, what can you do? Last year, you wanted to call the doctor. Last year, you wanted a prescription. But this year, Tavis D in its full prescription strength is available without a prescription. Just one tablet helps relieve 12 hours worth of painful congestion and sneezing.
Guess what? I'll be there after all.
Tavis D. One tablet, 12 hours, and now no prescription.
This must be the center of town.
One of the nice things about our job is you never know where you'll go next. But the best part is when you knock on the door and see dreams come true.
Oh my God!
Congratulations from Publishers Clearinghouse.
We're the Prize Patrol from Publishers Clearinghouse, and we're about to go on the road again. Watch your mail if you'd like us to give you $10 million next month.
My hemorrhoids hurt so much, I was afraid I needed surgery. But my doctor said they weren't serious, and it's time I used Preparation H.
Preparation H helps shrink swelling of inflamed hemorrhoidal tissues and often relieves pain, itching, and burning for hours. Doctor recommended Preparation H.
Attention heartburn sufferers.
If antacids work, why do I keep getting heartburn?
You know, frequent heartburn may be a sign of a more serious medical problem. Your doctor has treatment plans that can help.
Frequent heartburn. Isn't it time you talk to your doctor?
Experience CBS News.
Eye on your health.
Eye on your money.
Eye on your children.
Eye on the environment.
Eye on crime.
Eye on America.
Only on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
The people of CBS News. Dan Rather.
Connie Chung.
Mike Wallace.
Paula Zahn.
Ed Bradley.
Leslie Stahl.
Harry Smith.
Morley Safer.
Bob Schieffer.
And Charles Kuralt. Experience.
CBS News.
This is CBS.
Your Toyota dealers are proud to announce a beauty of a deal on a beauty of a car. A one-of-a-kind introductory offer on the all-new Toyota Corolla with its Camry-like styling. The deal is $179 a month for 48 months with no down payment. It gets even better. No strip down here. You get air conditioning, power steering, AM/FM radio, even driver's side airbag. But it's a limited time offer, so for the best selection, don't wait. Why settle for less than a Corolla? Your Toyota dealer can give you a beauty of a deal for less than you thought.
Wishing you and your family a happy holiday.
From all of us here at Channel 2.